Okay, morning of day 146. Things are moving fast. So I'm sitting here at the bus stop in Wenatchee, I think it is, Washington. Headed up around the fires to, first stop is to Chelan, where I catch a ferry over to Stehekin. So, I don't know, for some reason, you know, I've taken a lot of, trains across Europe and, planes all over the place. Buses just seem to, I don't know, challenge me a little bit more. Just because you don't have the familiarity with the routes or where they stop and which bus to get on. But I tell you, Google really makes it easy. Thank you, Google. So my bus should be here in about 4 minutes. Didn't get much sleep last night. You know, I was up, texting people and coordinating with Jeff and Ellen, which I think they're going to go tomorrow. I know they're going tomorrow. And so I didn't get to bed till like 11:30. And, I was up at 5:30, so I only got like 6 hours sleep. We'll see if that affects me on the trail. Because I got to do 11 miles today. And by the time I take the bus and then the ferry and then the shuttle and grab some lunch on the way, I don't think I'll hit the trail to 12:30 or 1, probably 1 o'clock. So we'll see how that goes. I was right on the fence of taking a 0 day today. Wenachee's the perfect stop for just logistics. It was cheap and it was fast and it just everything lined up. Where if I would have stayed in Leavenworth, it's just a lot harder from Leavenworth. That's where Jeff and Ellen stayed, and it would have cost me an extra day and probably $500 by the time you do the hotels and that. So this really lined up. If I could have taken a 0 day here and still hiked over with them, but then I would have just been sitting around here all day. I could have done laundry and then just eaten. So didn't really want to do that. But I really debated. It would have been fun to do the last section with them. But then again, I really like hiking on myself or hiking by myself and just, making up as I go along, hiking my own hike. So that's why I decided I'll do it alone. I'll hi-fi them on the way back from the border and we'll see how that goes. All right, my bus is just about here, so we'll see you on down the trail. Okay, on the free bus to Chelan. It's like an hour bus ride, but there's a few local stops here in Wenatchee, and I think a couple on the way. I'm surprised how many people are on the bus. There's at least a dozen people on the bus, and this is a 6:30 bus on a Saturday morning. I was expecting to be 2 or 3 people on, and there's a bunch of people on the bus. Two other hikers doing the same ferry. 2 girls just got on, but the rest are just I guess locals that get up early and I don't know, go to work or go to wherever they're going. I'm gonna sit back and enjoy the hour-long bus ride, and then we'll catch the ferry. Oh, here's another backpacker, so I guess there's gonna be 4 of us going. So I didn't realize, but the Columbia River starts way up north in Washington. We got a view all the way, pretty much the whole way up along the Columbia River. Didn't realize that. Pretty beautiful river though. I kind of got my hopes up. Got the bus dropped us off at the ferry landing 7:30. Ferry leaves at 8:30. I think it boards at 7:15. Think get a chance to grab anything to eat. There's a little coffee shop just down the road. Google says it was open, but there's no one in there. It's all closed up, so kind of missed out on breakfast. I think I got an apple, and obviously I got, some extra power bars in that, but I was hoping to get a breakfast burrito or something. We'll see. They say they have grab and go stuff at the ferry landing, but they're closed up too, I assume, when they open. But I didn't see much in there. I saw there was a muffin and maybe some chips and candy. Not much to eat in there, so we'll see what happens. Looks like they're just starting to open up now. Maybe we can grab something to eat. Maybe we'll get lucky. Okay, leaving Chelan, 2.5 hours, we'll be in Stehekin. the widest spot of Lake Chelan right now. It's 2 miles across. We're kind of near this shore. I guess the narrow spot's about a quarter mile across. Beautiful lake.
Up until this point, we've been traveling through the smaller, more shallow Walker Basin. And as we pass through the Narrows, we'll be entering the much larger and deeper Lucerne Basin. The two lake basins are thought to have been carved out by two separate glaciers somewhere about 18,000 years ago during the last ice age. Up here in the Narrows, we'll have about 125 feet of water beneath us. As we enter the Lucerne Basin, the bottom is going to drop off to between 400 and 600 feet deep. So once again, this is called the Narrows. It's the narrowest spot on Lake Chelan, and it's about a quarter of a mile across.
Some really gorgeous homes here. I like that one, very neat and modern.
Put in an escalator. If I had the money to buy it, I'd put in a lift.
That one's a pretty nice home. With a matching boat dock and another outbuilding.
Can't afford that shit.
Guessing they got a little bit of money here. You have some burn zones on the north shore of Lake Chelan. And the south shore, a little bit more green. So Lake Chelan is a deep lake and very steep hillsides. This told us Lake Chelan's the third deepest lake in continental United States after Crater Lake and Lake Tahoe. So, you know, on this PCT journey, I've visited the top 3 deepest lakes in the United States, all within, you know, maybe 2 months. You know, hit Lake Tahoe first, then the deepest Crater Lake, and this one's like 1,500 feet deep. He said we passed the point a little bit ago, but like 100 yards offshore, it dropped to like over 1,200 feet, just 100 yards offshore. So that's just an amazing steep cliff hillside. Real pretty lake. It's taken us 2.5 hours to go across it. I think halfway is the last road. So up lake, all these, well, there's not many, but there's a couple little towns, including Stehekin. The only way to get anything there, you know, any supplies or packages or cargo or people, is either by boat or plane or barge. There's no roads. So it's pretty remote. It's almost like living up in Alaska, just relying by either, you know, I don't know how many planes actually come in, you know, via seaplane, but I think most things come in by boat or barge. We got a lot of cargo downstairs, including all these PCT hiker resupply boxes I see locked up in a cage. So it's kind of interesting, just the remoteness, and you can see up there just the rugged mountaintops. That's what we're gonna be hiking across next 5 days to finish up this amazing journey. All right, pulling into Stehekin, nice little village. But man, these are steep mountains all the way around. So we're gonna be climbing over the next 5 days. But fun little ferry. Gotta make a stop at the bakery and then head back up the trail. Okay, that's the boat we came in on, at least the bow of it. Sitting here on the shuttle bus. Picks us up right at the boat landing. Talked to the Forest Service, has some fire guys to, you know, kind of brief us on the fire conditions and the trail conditions right there. They had a bunch of snacks, so it's always popular for the hikers and real good. They had like these brownies from the bakery, just huge brownies, dense, lot of calories. So that hit the spot. And stepped off the post office, dumped a few few things in the hiker box. Had you know, an extra fuel canister and some bags and stuff like that, so lightened my pack a little bit. Headed up to the trail right now, and we're gonna make a stop at the bakery. So see you down the trail. I'm stuffed, but stopped at the bakery, so I had to get a chicken bacon ranch hot pocket or calzone, whatever it is. It looked really good, and I got about 10 minutes to eat it, and I'll be back on the shuttle. Okay, so I didn't really have room for it, but I scarfed down that chicken bake. That was tasty, but I was all stressed out because I didn't think, you know, reading some of the online comments, I didn't think there was going to be any food available except at the bakery. But then they had a sandwich on the boat, so I had some fruit and a granola bar for breakfast. And then I got a sandwich and chips and cookie and soda on the boat. And then I got off the boat, and the fire station, or the fire crew, was handing out stuff. So I got a couple things of cookies and a big brownie from the bakery here. So I was like all kind of sugar high. So I needed some substantial. So I got a chicken bake, and we're only here for like 15 minutes. So I scarfed that down. So I'm stuffed. Going back on the blue bus and headed up to High Bridge, and we'll start hiking the trail. Hopefully I can hike with a full belly. I'm just stuffed right now, but you gotta do that in town. Get the calories where you can. Okay, so we're at High Bridge. I guess this is a little cabin there. I guess that's the High Bridge there. I guess we're just on the edge of North Cascades National Park. Thought there was another 5 miles up the trail or not, but I think we're kind of like going along the border, because the trail heads up over here, that direction. There's the shuttle we took up. So this has been a road one, and wow, less than 24 hours. I came off the trail at Stevens Pass. Spent about an hour doing some trail magic. Picked up my resupply, sorted through my food. Got a hitch down to Leavenworth. Jumped on a bus to Wenatchee. Got a hotel, had some dinner. Went through and sorted out my gear, did all the town chores. Got to bed like 11 o'clock, 11:30. Woke up at 5:30. Took the bus up to Chelan, then the ferry to Stehekin, then a shuttle to here with the stop at the bakery. So it's been a whirlwind. I probably, looking back, probably should have stretched this out into another day. I could have taken another day and then hiked up with Jeff and Ellen. That would have been nice. But I kind of got a border fever right now, and I just, you know, I'm anxious to get to the border. Got some good weather. I think what's today? Saturday. I think Tuesday, Wednesday, there's a slight chance of rain. But on that, should be good weather. I booked the flight home, you know, in a little over a week. So things are just all, you know, boom, 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 coming up. And that, you know, the whole point of this, Stevens to Stehekin, was to get around the Diamond Mine Complex fire closure. So I had to jump and miss, I think, 107 miles of trail. So this is the fourth fire closure that I've had to jump around. One in California, one in Oregon. California's only, you know, like 11 miles. Oregon was like 85, and then 2 in Washington that were just over 100. So had to skip almost 300 miles of the trail because of fires. But that's all part of the experience. Especially these days, there's fires every year. So that's just it's part of the adventure, and you know, figuring it out. All right, we'll see you down the trail. Oh, so one other thing, good development is I got my blue dot back. GPS, you know, as you know, has been working since Suquamish. So I went 4 days having to navigate old school, you know, go back 10 or 15 years and, you know, learn how to read a map and read the terrain and make my way down the trail without any GPS. You know, got fairly proficient at that. Wasn't working for far out. Wasn't working with my check-ins back home with my satellite unit. But then as soon as I got to Stevens Pass and got in cell phone range, it started working again. So no idea what happened there. I think it's a different antenna in the phone and different chipset, but somehow there's some kind of interaction there. And as soon as I got cell phone service, my GPS started working. And so I went back in airplane mode and still made sure that it worked with far out. And yeah, it's we don't have cell phone service way out here. There's nothing out here. So yeah, good news. Now I got a blue dot. I got GPS. I feel I know where I'm at. Got 80 miles to the border, 110 left in the journey. So I'm gonna hit the trail, try and do, boy, it's like 12:30. I'm gonna try and do like 11 and a half miles, about 3,000 feet of gain, which is a lot of gain in 11 miles. I'm gonna try and do that today, and that'll leave me with a little under 70 to the border. All right, we'll see you down the trail. Okay, so back on the trail. See if I can do 11 miles today. Got a full belly, maybe too full. We'll see how it goes. Okay, only 2.5 miles in, I'm already taking a break. It's hot. It's like 89 degrees. So you mix that with starting off going uphill, 89 degrees, and an overfilled belly. That chicken bacon ranch kind of stewing in 89 degree weather, doing a 600-foot climb. Not ideal. I'm used to, starting off the day in the cool morning, not in the hot afternoon. So we might be going a little bit slower this afternoon, or just pretend like it's a regular day and I've already done 10 or 11 miles, and so I'm like 13 miles in and starting to slow down. I guess that's another way to look at it. Anyway, I got about 9 more miles to camp. It's a little after 1:30, so I should be there somewhere around 5:30ish. Still a lot of climbing, but I think the trail's in pretty good condition. Just need my stomach to process some of the food I gorged myself on, and then we'll probably be better this afternoon. Definitely tomorrow, kind of be a normal trail day. And didn't get any sleep last night either, so a lot of things working against me this afternoon. But it's a short afternoon, so just put your head down and suck it up, Buttercup. You're almost there. All right, see you down the trail. Okay, so here's a bridge I don't think Sandra would like. Looks like they had a more substantial bridge at one point that got washed out, and then they put this this cable bridge up to which is good, because that's that's pretty big river there to have to hop rocks across. A lot of flow, just get your feet wet. So I appreciate the bridge. Looks like it's gonna be pretty shaky though. I'm gonna put the camera away and maybe the trekking poles and just hold on to the ropes. I know Sandra would not like this at all. Oh, you can see it. I think there's a cable here to keep it from swaying, but there's an awful lot of slack in that thing, so I don't know if it's really doing much good. But, alright, we'll see how it goes. Yeah, Sandra definitely wouldn't have liked that. Look how much, there's a lot of space in between those boards. I mean, that's a good, 3 inches in between the boards. They're only like 3 inches wide, so it's like 50% air. And it, just trying to walk steady, the whole bridge kind of bounced quite a bit. So, a little bit of adventure. It's safe in that. You're not going to fall in, but a lot of movement crossing that bridge. Just all part of the adventure. Okay, just a couple miles from camp. Been hazy all day. Talked to the one of the firefighters there in Stehekin. He said, yeah, the whole Washington, Idaho, Canada region is just all covered in smoke. There's so many different fires out. Nothing real close by, but the whole area is just covered in smoke. But even though, check this out. This is just, the ridge line's way up here. But it's just sheer steep. The river is way down there, and here's the trail, but that's a long way down. Very good trail conditions today. I mean, it's been a steady climb, and it's been really warm. But I only had like maybe 3 blowdowns in 11 miles. You know, not too many rocks, few rocky sections, but they were short. A lot of just real nice trail. So, cheers. I like that. All right, got a couple more miles to camp. Getting a little tired just from the heat and all that. So, I'm gonna try and hustle over there, make camp, and get some rest. We'll see you down the trail. All right, so there's a sign over that said footbridge or ford. So, the trail comes along here, and you know, you can ford this and just continue along the trail, or take that path back by the sign up to there. Well, it's one of those, you can see it here, one of those kind of shaky suspension bridges. But this doesn't look too bad. I think there's enough rocks and low enough flow I can get across it. So if it gets sketchy, I'll just turn around and go up to the shaky bridge. I think this is okay. We'll see. Easy peasy. Not worth the climb, and going over the shaky suspension bridge. There wasn't much flow here this late in the season, so just go slow, use your poles, no problem. Okay, getting close to 6 Mile Camp where I'm going to spend the night, but this is about the 3rd or 4th area of bear scat in the area. A lot of bear activity around this campsite, but campsites are limited. I think the next one's like another 4 miles away. This one's pretty old. It's been stepped on and flattened out. This has probably been here, you know, a week or two. But it's about the 4th one that I've seen. Luckily, they do have a bear box at the campsite, so I get all my food and toiletries, anything that smells, in the bear box. But something to keep an eye out for. Maybe we'll get a late night visitor and have to deal with that. Okay, so this is 6 Mile Camp. Not sure why they call it 6 Mile Camp, because it took me 11.5 miles to get here, but it's 6 miles from somewhere. Anyway, a lot of nice sights here. You got 1, probably 2, 3. I'm camped over there. 4, 5, 6, probably 6. You could squeeze more in here. You could probably squeeze, well, PCT hikers, you could squeeze 20 of them in here, but there's probably a good 6 sites. I'm going to set up over there. Then over here, they got a little cook area to cook away from your tent, and a bear box, because bears are pretty prevalent in this area. So I'll put it on my food and scented items, you know, water bottle that I use to mix drinks and stuff like that, in that metal bear box there. And then back up the trail a little bit, I guess there's a toilet, open air toilet back there. I'll go check that out later on. Probably won't need it till tomorrow. And right down here, got a nice flowing stream. So, you know, pretty nice little spot. And got here about 10 after 6. Just had my protein drink. I'm gonna start setting up camp. So far I got the place to myself. We'll see if that lasts. I saw 4 other hikers on the trail today. No idea where they're gonna camp. And then there were probably 8 back in Stehekin that were on the ferry. You know, they might have, you know, there's another bus that takes you up, or shuttle that takes you up to the trail at 2 and at 5. You know, you can't make it here from 5, but 2 o'clock they might roll in here, you know, 8 o'clock at night or something, 9 o'clock at night. So I'll get set up here, and we'll see if I get any company or not, human or otherwise. All right, we'll check you out later. So I don't know if this shows up, but here's the open air toilet here. that you can use. You know, it's getting dark now, but or you can upgrade and check this out. Here's the new one. Man, look at this thing. Oh, someone said this looks like the new Yeti cooler here. You got old school and factory fresh, high-tech composting toilet here. So we'll have to check that out tomorrow morning. I think I'm gonna take a ride on the new model tomorrow morning when I get up. All right, see you down the trail. End of day 146. It's like 8 o'clock, so it's already getting dark out. I didn't do a closeout, so yeah, real good day. Just made good time. You know, got from Wenatchee, got the early bus to Chelan Ferry, took the ferry over, ate a ton, ate way too much. I was just stuffed. I've never been that, or I haven't been this full on the trail yet. Where you know, after I left Stehekin, you know, and we had the bakery, you know, I picked out at the talking to the firefighters. They had all the you know, they had cookies and candy, and then they had these big beefy brownies from the bakery, and I stuffed myself there. Then I got too much sugar, so I had to get that chicken calzone wrap thing. So I was just stuffed. I didn't eat anything the rest of the day, you know, until I got to camp. So I went 11.5 miles without even having a snack or even some trail mix. So that's the first time that happened. I had to kind of like force myself to eat dinner. So we did the 11.5 miles, got into 6-mile camp. So I think I just got to, you know, map out tomorrow's route and do all the statistics and that. But I think I'm about 100 miles left in the journey. Probably about 70 miles to the border and then 30 miles back to Hart's Pass. So might even be in double digits. I'll have to, you know, I'll map it out tonight and see exactly where we're at. So it's good. We got 2 more hikers came in just as I was eating dinner, Brian and Laura. So they're finishing up dinner now. Saw them on the boat, but it's just the 3 of us here. I guess that's it. It was a real good day, but hot. So I think it's going to start cooling down tomorrow, and I'll have to check the weather, but I think like Monday or Tuesday there's even a chance of rain, so that's not great. But it's just a chance. It's not like a 60 or 70. I think it's like, you know, less than 25% chance. So maybe we'll get lucky. Didn't really see anyone else once we left High Bridge. You know, there were a couple day hikers all the way through, and there were some other stops. But after leaving High Bridge, you know, saw Brian and Laura, and then 2 other female hikers I haven't seen before. One took the alternate route instead of going through Stehekin. She hiked all the way from Stevens Pass, so she wasn't even aware that the trail's open after the Easy Fire. And then one other girl, I didn't talk to her. So there's just a few of us out here on the trail. There's still, you know, a bunch back in Stehekin that might be behind us a little bit. Anyway, that's enough for tonight. We'll see you tomorrow.